Good morning. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage, on your side, your wisdom guided oracle. And it's a beautiful Wednesday. I'm chuckling because as I was coming down the stairs, I pretty much got today's message. And just as I was shuffling, a card kind of fell out, which always tells me that it's something we need to hear. And the word that came to me when I was walking down the stairs, I was thinking about when we have our gifts and we really start living from that platform, and we are given new gifts or insights to new gifts we have, and the courage it takes sometimes to exercise those. I had that really nice experience the last couple of days with some clients. The word I needed or I got was courage, and this is the card that hopped out of the deck. Exercise courage and move forward. It's funny, the gal that I worked with yesterday said, "You need to put this on your website as something you do." And I looked at her and kind of chuckled. From she and her husband both, I removed some curses that had been placed on them. And I have a healing modality I use, but when I first did her husband a week ago, I just asked, is this something we can remove now? And his body said yes, and I asked a few different ways because that is not something I've ever done. So anyway, I went in and pulled that curse and then asked his body afterwards a few different ways to make sure I was getting the right answer, that yes, indeed, we had pulled the curse. So as I was walking down the stairs, I was chuckling again, going, I don't know. I don't think I can tell people I do that. And so anyway, the courage necessary is, I'm beginning to think, and I'm not one who plays with that kind of energy or even goes into that realm of thought. And the reason I understand it's not where I play is that I came in and started getting myself to church at age 4. Wherever I lived, and there were a lot of houses before I was 9, I would try to get to church and somebody would pick me up or take me, or I would walk. And so I knew that I was surrounded by the Creator and the angels and all of that. Great morning, Susan. And that I understood that I am protected from that kind of energy. So when he came in and he knew that someone in his life had cursed him because they were a witch, they practiced Wicca. And when we asked, indeed, it was that person. And so it was like, well, we got nothing to lose. Let's ask if we can pull it. And sure enough, said yes. I went in, I did what I do, and went back and asked his body, and it had cleared. And so then his wife had a few, and I'm beginning to understand how to recognize that in people, because we will carry things from generations. DNA does not just bring in bones and muscle and skin. It brings in the energies that have happened through lifetimes. And we do have the ability to remove that as part of our truth in this lifetime. And for many of us, we are here to clear generations of junk in our past. In fact, I went through a purge recently, a physical purge, very much. It was like the weirdest things that I'd ever had happen to me over a 3-month period physically. And I understood at that point when I asked about that. The reason I asked Creator about what was going on was because I wear this pendant, and it had this big, pretty bright, almost white stone with blue spots in it. It's called a K2, and it's very protective. And so I've worn that for a long time, and at the end of purging, the one last thing that had happened in my physical to release some of the energy that I needed to, what I understood was the releasing of generations of an energy belief system that we'd had. It was my path, and for many of you, the empaths out there, good morning, Brandon, it's what you're here for too. And those of you who carry some of the heaviest energy out there are probably carrying along some generational stuff that we can pull. And absolutely, energy work can be done by phone because energy knows no distance. So if you feel like you're plagued with maybe more than what is yours in this one life, consider giving me a call and let's see if we can work on that together. And so let's see what the Creator has for us today, besides the fact that courage is something we do need to step into. And not only do we need to do courage, but we need to begin now. Quit putting off. Good morning, Rebecca. Quit putting off. Oh, thanks, Sissy. My sister said, you look so pretty this morning. Thank you. I think it's this color. It seems to be a good color with the gray hair. So whatever it is you've been thinking about, kind of considering, and that's truly who I really start working with, are people that are opening up to their more spiritual aspect, either to live from there or just really actively start using it and take your first step. Begin now. There's no upside in waiting and putting it off. In fact, anything you're putting off and procrastinating becomes more stressful and more stressful. So I urge you, as my friend Jonna wrote her book about, just jump. Thank you, Melanie. That's very nice. Just jump. Get in and just take that step and know that even though you may be doing it in fear, you will be rewarded. It is, because not in the sense that, well, you may get riches, but you'll be rewarded with the peace and the satisfaction you need to move forward with greater ease as well as greater power. And that was my word this year, power. To accept the power I have, to stand in my power, to own it, and really start exercising it. Good morning, Rita. Wow, our paths haven't crossed in so long. Maybe soon they will. And the next card I drew is really, these are beautiful. These are the Wisdom of the Oracle cards. Never-ending story. We are ever evolving. We are ever changing and moving into a better place, even in those times when it feels horribly uncomfortable and not pleasant. It is part of what we need to move forward in our highest and best. So I urge you... I'm sorry, I was reading something Rebecca posted. Wow, I'm actually sitting here in your messages hitting me regarding two things I need to work on. One being my throat chakra, yes, so you can speak your truth. And the other things that I don't want to do because sadness is involved. Oh, and there's more. I won't read that. But Rebecca, I'll finish reading that when I'm done. Yeah. And the truth is the longer we put them off, the bigger they become because we add more resistance and emotion to the things that if we jump in more quickly and start actually incorporating them, dealing with them, looking at them, it really does become easier because we aren't building so much around them. So I urge you to just jump. If you're in fear about it, do the Pure Love and Joy tool. Remember, that is really to fill you with more love and peace. The heaviness you feel around that, the sadness, any fear involved will leave. Your vibrations will be elevated, and then connect with Creator again and go, all right, how do I actually manage this? How do I walk in this aspect of my life now? And just know that that guidance is there. All we have to do is ask, and that's the point of asking, is to allow Creator, your angels, your guides to come in. More often than not, people coming to me are incredibly empathic, and a lot of times that's caused them lots of stress because if you're not protecting yourself as an empath, you are at the mercy of all these energies coming at you that you have no idea, probably aren't even yours. So you need to start learning to manage your energies. And these are the people that are starting to open up, but they're very bound up still with energies that are not easy to revolve around. So it is such an amazing journey when you choose to jump in and just ask, what are my gifts? Especially if you have no idea. And what happens is you'll start becoming aware, little synchronicities will start happening, and you'll start getting the push to make the changes that are gonna make it more likely that you can be a greater power in your own life and in your own world. And the people that need you to show up in this world will show up. So, I mean, we'll be able to find you, and they do need you too. And so, let me see if there's anything else this morning. Let's see what Michael has. Michael showed up big yesterday in a time when I was actually removing the curse from this gal. And really what he showed up was to remind me to tell her that he was there. He is there to protect her, and he is there for all of us for protection. So if you know you're an empath and you're concerned about that, then allow Michael to play and allow the love that is possible in that whole relationship with him. He's incredibly powerful. So, yeah. And I just pulled an Archangel Michael card. It says guarded and protected. That's his job. Why would you not draw on the power you've got with one of, the most, I don't want to say powerful archangels because they're all powerful, but the most well known for his protective, his ability to be a warrior on your behalf. And so again, you have the power to call on your power team. It's not, you don't need anyone else to do that for you. And I urge you to start doing it on a regular basis, especially just a few minutes in the morning. Excuse me, set your tone for the day. And it really does become just a conversation where you're co-creating on a more active basis in this life. So I urge you to gain a practice of connection with your higher power and allow that wisdom in on a more regular basis. Do remember that I do private readings by phone and in person. And if you are interested, private message me. Also, remember June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th is the next set of Paint and Sip retreats. The early bird pricing ended yesterday, but if you and a friend sign up together, I will extend that really amazing price to you. And just know that it's a time that Creator is going to come in to all the women that attend these, because that's who end up coming. Don't worry about who you might be with in the group, because Creator's got it handled. He put together, and if he offends you, I'm sorry. It's the way I've always grown up to speak about God, the creator, universe, source, energy, the creator of all that is. He put together the perfect groups every single day, and it was so fun to just watch these women come together and support one another and love one another and leave more empowered and ready to step more fully in. And visiting with these women afterwards on a kind of a continual basis, watching what's happened has just been so amazing with them. Oh, and I wanted to point out to you my beautiful bouquet. Look at this. I won that yesterday. And then if you know me, you know there's nothing more. Look at that peony. It's just starting to open. You know that flowers really do feed my soul and touch me in a way that nothing else does. And it makes me just feel good. They make me smile. They bring joy to my heart. I realized how powerful they were after my daughter's wedding. And of course, we had all these flowers. And I just kept paring them down. So for probably 2 weeks after, I had bouquets around my house. And I thought to myself, why don't I do this more often? Because I have a fair number of flowers to draw from in my yard. And then you can always just go buy a bouquet and add to. And it really does just make me feel so happy to look at them. So I was thrilled to win that bouquet. And I thought it would be fun to share it with you this morning. So please let me know if you need anything. Private message me. I love to do the readings. It is so fun to watch Creator give you all the insights you need. And I urge you to exercise courage in just one area of your life and allow your power team to help you move forward in that area. The reason it's plaguing you is because it is something you need to address that once you do is going to make a huge difference in what you're doing moving forward. So thank you all for joining me. Love and light to you all. I hope you have a wonderful day, and do something just for you today that feeds your soul and makes you feel good for no other reason than that. I'm Victoria Savage, Nurse Savage on your side, your wisdom guided oracle.